The body positivity movement, it's been huge. It's changed everything. But what if that mirror it holds up only shows half of us? Today, we're going to dig into that. We're asking who's being left out of this whole conversation about feeling good in your own skin? And more importantly, why does that matter so much? And look, let's be real, there's no denying it. The body positivity movement has been an absolute game changer. It has completely transformed the cultural conversation. It's empowered so many people to finally connect their self-worth to, who they are, not just what they look like. It's dragged some really vital mental health discussions right into the spotlight, which is amazing. But for all that incredible progress, we've got to ask the tough question: who is being left behind? As that circle of acceptance gets bigger and bigger, are there still people standing on the outside, looking in, completely invisible? Okay, and I want to be super clear about something right up front. This is not, I repeat, not about diminishing or taking away from the crucial, hard-won battles for women's body image issues. Not at all. The goal here is actually the opposite. It's about asking, can we make that circle even bigger? So let's dive in. First up, let's take a look at who this conversation usually revolves around. I mean, for very good historical reasons, the movement has mostly focused on the insane pressures put on women. And that was absolutely necessary. But, sometimes when you focus so hard on one thing, you end up with a bit of a blind spot. Yeah, this quote it hits the nail on the head, doesn't it? It frames the whole thing perfectly. It's not an attack, it's just an observation. There is this huge gap in who we see. One group's struggles are totally in the spotlight, and the others? Well, they're pretty much left in the dark. So what's going on here? And here's the thing. This isn't just a feeling or, a few stories here and there. The research, the actual data, tells a story of a hidden struggle. A really real struggle that just isn't getting the same level of attention. And this slide really lays it out. It's like a tale of two different worlds, right? On one side, you have this growing, public, validating conversation happening for women. It's awesome. But on the other side, it's mostly just silence. Men's struggles often get brushed off, dismissed, or they're just invisible. And that's what's so wild, because the data completely contradicts that silence. I mean, study after study shows that guys deal with major body dissatisfaction. They're feeling anxiety about how they look, shame, and some serious mental health distress. And a really big piece of the puzzle is this intense pressure to be muscular, which is a whole different, but just as damaging, kind of ideal to live up to. Okay, so if the struggle is obviously real, and the research backs it up, then why is it so invisible? Well, the answer seems to be tangled up in all these unwritten social rules, the norms that kind of dictate who's allowed to admit they feel insecure about their body. And yeah, it really boils down to this idea of gender norms. These are basically the powerful, unspoken rules about how you're supposed to act because of your gender. And for guys, one of the biggest rules has always been be strong, be tough, don't show weakness. That doesn't leave a lot of space for saying, hey, I'm feeling really insecure about how I look. Just think about the words we use, right? A guy's deep unhappiness with his body is almost never called insecurity. Instead, we dress it up in positive language. We call it a drive for muscularity or a commitment to fitness. And that little switch in language, it totally hides the anxiety underneath. It makes the real struggles so much harder to spot. And this is where we get to the most important part of this whole thing, the fallout. The consequences. Because when you ignore an entire group's struggle, the toll isn't just some abstract idea. It is devastatingly, painfully real. I mean, this invisibility has serious life-altering effects. We're talking about higher rates of depression and anxiety. We're talking about eating disorders that fly completely under the radar in men, which is so dangerous. We're talking about steroid and supplement abuse, all in the chase for some impossible ideal. And at the end of the day, it's just this slow chipping away at self-esteem that can make people pull back from everything and everyone. So here's the bottom line. Whether we mean to or not, when we do this, we send a message. And that message is that some people's pain matters more than others, that some struggles are more worthy of our empathy, and that, well, that's a really dangerous message for any of us to be sending or hearing. And it all comes back to this one simple truth. Real mental health advocacy has to include everyone. You can't pick and choose. It's either for all of us, or it really isn't for any of us. Inclusivity isn't just, a nice bonus. It's the whole point. So, where do we go from here? What's the solution? Well, the goal is definitely not to shrink the conversation we're already having, it's to expand it. So let's talk about what a truly inclusive body positivity movement could actually look like. Okay, so it seems like there are four pretty clear steps we could take. First, we have to consciously make room for male perspectives in the conversation. We have to be intentional about it. Second, we need to validate all forms of body dissatisfaction. No more comparing whose struggle is worse. Third, we've got to actively push back against those gender norms that keep guys silent. And finally, number four, let's promote media that actually shows a diverse range of male bodies, just like the incredible work that's been done fighting for diverse female bodies. So, we're going to leave you with this one last thing to chew on. If the whole point of body positivity is to free everyone from shame and these impossible standards, then what does a world actually look like when that mirror we're holding up finally, truly reflects all of us?